everyone to Preschool Virtual Storytime. My name is Miss Fawn and I'm so happy that you're here with us again. I hope you're ready to sing some songs, say some rhymes, get some wiggles out, and of course read some stories. Parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, and friends, feel free to join in with us. Your kids shouldn't be the only ones having so much fun as they learn. If you enjoyed today's story time, be sure to check back on our YouTube and Facebook pages next Thursday at 10 a.m. for the latest storytime video. Let's get started with our hello song. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you this morning? I'm fine, hope you are too. I'm fine, hope you are too. I'm fine, hope you are too. We're all fine this morning. Well, our friend Callie is here as always to help us with our theme of the week. Callie, what are we going to talk about this week in Storytime? Are you going to tell me? You're not. Callie is such a sassy dragon. You want me to find out because of clues in your eggs? Okay, let's get your dragon's hoard out and take a look. Which one should I choose first? The dark pink one? Yes. All right, we're gonna look in Callie's first egg and see what our theme of the week is. We have a pink letter P. P makes a p sound. And of course, along with our capital letter, we always have a little p, big P and little p. Capital letter, lowercase letter. They make p sound. Very good. All right. Okay, so we have the letter P. I think I remember a famous dragon whose name starts with the letter P. His name was Puff the Magic Dragon. Do you know Puff the Magic Dragon, Callie? Yes. Do all dragons know each other? Yes. That's what happens when you're a magical creature. All right, let's do our next light pink. Pink starts with P as well. All right, our next light pink egg, let's see what we have. We have, oh my goodness, a cute little cat. Aw, so cute, little kitten with a smile. All right, so we have the letter P and we have a cat. Maybe our last egg will give us the clue we need to figure out what our theme of the week is. So golden egg? Yes, okay. Let's see. Ooh, we have a hamster. Wow, a little cute hamster. All right, so we have the letter P and we have a cat and we have a hamster. Now these are animals that we would keep in our houses as like part of our families and we would take care of them. What do we call those kinds of animals? They're not farm animals. They don't live out on a farm. They're not working animals. They're just animals to be part of the family. What do we call those? What do we call those? We call them pets. Pets with a capital P or a lowercase p. Very good. Now, Callie, could we have you as a pet? Could you be our pet dragon? No. Why can't we have dragons as pets? Because they breathe fire. Yeah, that would not work in the house at all. All right, so we have the letter P, hamsters, and cats making up pets, and there are all sorts of pets. So we are going to sing a song that deals with some different pets. Okay, bye, Callie. We'll see you next week. Bye. Let's see. We're going to get ready for a song. Some people have fish as pets. So we're going to sing a song, and you need to sing with me, and you're going to do some hand motions. So get ready. One little red fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little red fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. What's going to be our next color? We have a blue fish. One little blue fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little blue fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. What's our next one? What color is this? That's a yellow. One little yellow fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little yellow fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. What else? What's another color we could do? How about a green fish? One little green fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little green fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. And our last fish, oh, it's a purple fish. One little purple fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little purple fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. Bubble, 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 pop. Very good. You guys did great with your bubbles. I love it. Well, the first book we're going to read today about pets is about a special dog. And it's a book called Hello, Goodbye, Dog. Hello, Goodbye, Dog. Written by Maria Gianferrari. Pictures by Patrice Barton. Read with permission from Roaring Brook Press. Moose looks like she's a happy dog. She's with some books. She'd be a good library dog. Hello, Moose, said Zara. There was nothing Moose loved more than hello. Hello was a ride in the car. So Moose got to ride with her on her way to school. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. It's time for school. Moose put on her brakes. It took Mom and Dad to get Moose to leave. Oh no, so Moose didn't want to leave school, but now they have to carry her back home. There was nothing Moose disliked more than goodbye. Goodbye was an itch that couldn't be scratched. So Moose does not like it when Zara has to say goodbye to go to school. When Mom checked the mailbox, out zoomed Moose. It was time to say hello. Oh, she ran all the way back to the school. 2 paws patted on the glass. Oh my, said Mrs. Perkins. It's my dog, Moose, said Zara. Hello, Moose, said the class. Hello was a pat on the head. Dogs aren't allowed in school, said Mrs. Perkins. Moose will be quiet, said Zara. She loves story time. Moose lay at Zara's feet as Mrs. Perkins read a story. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. Like her mom came to pick her back up. Moose put on her brakes. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, and Mrs. Perkins to get Moose to leave. Goodbye was being tied up in the backyard. Poor Moose. Moose chewed through the rope. It was time to say hello. Hello, Moose, cried Zara. She found her way back to the school. Hello was having a book and someone to read it to you. Dogs aren't allowed in the library, said Miss Chen. Moose will be quiet, said Zara. She likes when I read to her. Zara read. Kids listened. Moose's tail swept circles on the rug. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. Moose put on her brakes. Look at, they're having a hard time moving her again. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, Mrs. Perkins, and Miss Chen to get Moose to leave. Look, Moose is trying to hide under the blanket. Goodbye was a closing door, so they put Moose inside. Moose pushed through the screen. It was time to say hello. Goodness, she made it back to school. Hello, Moose, said Zara. Hello smelled like homemade cookies. Dogs aren't allowed in the cafeteria, said one of the lunch ladies. She'll be quiet. I'll just read to her, said Zara. Zara read. One kid sat and then another and another until the table was full. Moose's tail thumped on the floor. What's that dog doing here? Asked Principal Evans. It's time for goodbye, Moose, said Zara. But Moose was tired of goodbye. A game of tag was on, and Principal Evans was it. Oh no, she ran away from him. Chairs tipped, kids slipped, teachers tripped, trays flipped, and Moose skipped right back to Zara. Then Moose got tagged. "Goodbye, Moose," said Zara. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, Mrs. Perkins, Miss Chen, Principal Evans, and all the lunch ladies to get Moose to leave. Look at, they're bribing him. They're bribing her out with muffins. Goodbye was a tag without an it. Goodbye was tug and no war. Goodbye was hide without seek. Goodbye was being alone. "Ow!" yelled Moose. She needed to say hello, but Zara wasn't there. "Hello, Moose," said Zara. "I know you don't like goodbyes, and I have an idea." Zara took Moose to therapy dog school. Wow. Moose was tested on her temperament. Check. That means, is she a nice doggy? On sitting, lying down, and staying. Check. On being with children. Check. On being around wheelchairs. Double check. Finally, Moose was ready. It says certificate. Moose, therapy dog school graduate. And she gets to wear her special therapy dog vest because she graduated from therapy dog school. The next day, Moose joined Zara in the classroom. "Hello, Moose," said the class. Mrs. Perkins, Mrs. Chen, Principal Evans, and all the lunch ladies. And it says, "Welcome, class reading dog, Moose." Wow, so now that she's a therapy dog, she's allowed to come and be their reading dog. Welcome, class reading dog, Moose. Today was hello. And now there's a little boy reading to Moose. And this has some information about therapy dogs who get read to. Here at the Palmdale City Library, we have a program called Barks and Books, where you can read to some therapy dogs who are very good with children. Right now, our Barks and Books program is online, where you can read to a dog online. And in the future, when we open up fully, we'll have the therapy dogs come to the library and kids can come practice their reading with some dogs who like to listen. It's a great program. You can also practice reading to your stuffed animals at home if you don't have a pet who likes to be read to. I love this. It's a great story about a wonderful pet. The end. Did you enjoy our story, The Hello Goodbye Dog? I did. I love how at the end our dog becomes a therapy dog and gets to come to school and hear the children read to him. I love that. Did you know there are lots of other kinds of pets? Not just dogs and cats, but lots of different kinds. So we're going to sing a song called I Have a Pet and talk about some different pets people have. Are you ready? Go ahead and sit down. Here we go. I have a pet. He is a dog. And he says woof, 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 woof. I have a pet. She is a cat. And she says meow, 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 woof, woof, meow, meow. I have a pet. He is a mouse. And he goes squeak, 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 squeak. I have a pet. She is a bird. And she says tweet, 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 Squeak, squeak, tweet, tweet. I have a pet. It is a fish, and it says glub, 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 glub. I have a pet. It is a T-Rex, and it goes roar, 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 roar. Glub, glub, roar, roar. Would you like to have a T-Rex as a pet? I think that would be fun, but I don't think he would fit in your house. We are going to read our second story, and this one is also about a weird pet. It's called The Octopuppy. The Octopuppy by Martin McKenna. Used with permission from Scholastic Press. These are amazing pictures. The Octopuppy. But our little friend is stealing the O, and the Y already fell down. Edgar wanted a dog. But Edgar didn't get a dog. He got Jarvis. Oh. Jarvis couldn't do anything a dog could do. Sigh. But Edgar couldn't deny that Jarvis was very clever. It says, dog show next week. Super prizes. In fact, Jarvis was too clever, Edgar thought. Maybe with training, Jarvis could learn to lie down. So he's trying to teach him to lie down. And he did. He lay down to go to sleep with some pajamas and socks and a hot water bottle and a teddy bear and a book. Play dead. Let's see if he'll do that. And now he's playing dead like a mummy. But Jarvis always went too far, and that drove Edgar crazy. No, no, no! Until finally, sit! Maybe Jarvis could be more like a dog. Yes! Look at, he's sitting and he's got the dog collar on. On the day of the big dog show, however, Jarvis could only be himself. Edgar was so embarrassed. So while all these dogs are just well-groomed and just standing very still, Jarvis has been playing the drums and juggling some fire and balls, and he's been doing magic tricks and ballet dancing and playing the piano all at once. Not at all like a dog. And I love in the audience, so all the grown-ups are really grumpy. They don't like Jarvis. But look at the faces of the children. They love Jarvis. They think Jarvis is amazing and so much fun. Poor Edgar. He's so sad walking Jarvis home from the dog show. But when Jarvis decided to leave, so Jarvis, our octopus, is flushing himself down the toilet, and he says, I'm sorry, I was a bad dog. Love, Jarvis. Edgar knew he'd been wrong. Jarvis wasn't a dog. He was the best octopuppy in the world. Look at, he's showing how he's better than a dog. Where a dog would try to chase a cat up a tree, Jarvis can rescue the cat. Where a dog would steal some sausages from the butcher, Jarvis can make bangers and mash for dinner? Sausages and mashed potatoes. Where a doggy likes to smell poop, Jarvis likes to smell roses. And where a doggy might bite the mailman, Jarvis can do surgery. He's that clever. Edgar wanted Jarvis to come back. He went to look for him. So he put up a lost poster, and he's looking at the fish market. He's asking a police officer who's busy arresting a burglar. He's going on TV to appeal. He says, I was wrong. He was my friend. He's even gone to the ocean to ask a fisherman if he's seen Jarvis. But Jarvis was nowhere to be found. Oh, Jarvis, I'm sorry I was so horrible. Please come home, he says into his toilet where Jarvis had flushed himself. So now down the pipes, they're passing the message from one little worm to a slug. The worm says, Jarvis, come home, pass it on. The slug says, Jarvis, come home, pass it on. Little fish down to the snail. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. All the way to a snake. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. This one goes past, there's a prisoner trying to escape to this fish. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. To an alligator. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. Up to this shrimp. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. To a seahorse. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. The jellyfish. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. To the fish. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. To the crab. Jarvis, come home, pass it on. All the way out to the ocean. So that's where octopus live. That was all that Jarvis needed to hear. Jarvis! And he has a sign that says Edgar. Look, he's been on vacation. And they hug. And he'll be the best Octopuppy ever. Welcome home, Jarvis. And Edgar is throwing a big party for him, and they're having a good dance with all their friends. The end. Would you like to have an Octopuppy? I think that would be awesome. Have you ever wanted a weird kind of pet like an octopus, like in our book Octopuppy? I think that would be a lot of fun, but I think it would be a lot of work too. Well, some people have snakes as pets. So today we're going to read a poem from this wonderful book called Flutter and Hum, Animal Poems by Julie Paschkis, read with permission from Henry Holt and Company. And we're going to read a poem called, you guessed it, Snake. Snake slithering through the grass. The sinuous snake is writing a slippery poem with his body. But his alphabet is too simple. He only knows one letter, S. I love this poem because it has all these S sounds in it. And how funny that the snake only knows one letter, the letter S. This book is really special because it has words and poems in English and in Spanish. In Spanish, the snake is la serpiente. How cool is that? Well, we're going to get ready for our goodbye wave. So go ahead and stand up and get ready to do some wiggles and say bye to our snake for now. Thank you for joining us for this story time all about pets. Do you have a pet? What kind of pet do you have? Very cool. Love it. All right, we're going to say our goodbye. Wave up high. Wave down low. I think it's time for us to go. Wave your elbows. Wave your toes. Wave your tongue. And wave your nose. Wave your knees. And wave your eyes. Wave your hand and say goodbye. We'll see you next week.